So today's the title of today's my message is Facing God gives a clear goal and purpose of our lives and right view. And let us read a Bible quote. First one is Proverbs verse 3, 5, 6. Trust in God with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your path. And next is Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. So I know young people do not like religions. It is true that religions caused many problems throughout history. But it does not mean that we do not need God. So I would like young people to understand faith in God benefit a lot in their lives. So first, I'd like to talk about how humanistic view of nature and human society can cause problems. Humanistic view of nature and human societies. The first one is Darwinism. It's theory of biological evolution. So, we learn Darwinism in school. And so we don't deny the evolution. But the problem of Darwinism is Darwin is seeing the nature without God. I understand that the time of his Darwin the time, that time churches denied science. So maybe scientists wanted develop their theory without God because they are denied by churches. So the Darwinism says all species of organisms arise and develop through the natural selection of small inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, survive, and reproduce. And from this view, the law of jungle came, and stronger animals sacrifice weaker ones for their survival. And this Darwinism give influence to communism. Communism is the view of human society without God. So, according to communism, society, like the living beings on earth, is a result of historical process of change. The communist core idea that violent revolution was natural, inevitable part of the history from Darwinistic concept and conclusions. So counter view of these views, humanistic view. This is Two Parents World. Two Parents World on October 26, 2004. The theory of the survival of the fittest, the so-called law of the jungle, is rooted in the Hellenistic worldview. it is fundamentally wrong. Its proponents overlook absolute values. These values lead to the completion of every creature. They allow to be the owner of love by living for the greater good. So from the views of Darwinism and communism, removing stronger ones or ruling elite protect and benefit weaker ones or working class. Is it true? Isn't it much better view that every creature or every class person becomes the owner of love by living for the greater good, as true parents teach? I'd like to talk about the two examples showing that removing stronger ones or ruling elite did not benefit weaker ones or working class. Number one, protection of the deer in Kaihar Plateau. Have you ever heard this story? You may learn at biology class for food chain. So before 1905, the deer on Kaihar Plateau were estimated to number about 4,000. On November 28, 1906, President Roosevelt created the Grand Canyon National Game Preserve to protect the deer. In 1907, the Forest Service tried to exterminate the predators of the deer. Between 1907 and 1939, 816 mountain lions, 20 wolves, 7,388 coyotes, and more than 500 bobcats were killed. So they thought removing predators will benefit deers, protect deers, increase deer population. Yes, of course, without predators, deer population increased rapidly. And signs that the deer population was out of control began to appear as early as 1920. So, deer population get out of control, increased too much because no predators. So the increased deer, so they ate the grasses there. And what will happen? So during two winters in 1925 and 1926, it is estimated that 20,000 deer starved to death because they ate the grasses and no more grass, so the no food, so they starved to death, a lot of deer. And next example is Cultural Revolution. You know Cultural Revolution in China. The Cultural Revolution was socio-political movement in China launched by Mao Zedong in 1966 and lasting until his death in 1976. So the goal was to remove capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society. So what was the result? Death toll from hundreds of thousands to millions, and 10 years of chaos, economic stagnancy, loss of historical and cultural material. So what's the lessons of these two examples? The predators are crucial components of the food chain and play the role to maintain ecosystem health. Predators and prey's relationship is coexistence more than survival of fittest. Yeah, of course we see the competition in the nature, but that competition is not for survival, it's for coexistence. And removing capitalist and traditional elements of society is not the solution to create a better society. And nature keeps its balance and harmony by itself. So, one question here. So nature can keep its balance and harmony by itself. But humans can either keep or destroy harmony and peace depending on their choices. Why is that? So, all things, animals, plants, and humans are different. Divine principles teach they are different. What's the difference? This is from divine principle. All things reach their perfection through the dominion and autonomy of the principle itself by going through the period of growth in direct dominion. However, man is created to attain his perfection only through the dominion and autonomy of the principle itself, but also by accomplishing his own portion of responsibility in passing through this period. A man was created to reach his perfection by passing through the period of growth, accomplishing his portion of responsibility, while God would fulfill his part as the creator. So, we need to find the goal and purpose to accomplish our responsibility and reach the perfection. And we can compare our lives to a long-distance running race. So I would like to conclude my message with a well-known story of a race between a rabbit and a turtle. You know the story. The official name of the story is The Hare and the Tortoise, but I like to say that rabbit and turtle. It's easier to say for me. The story is that the rabbit lost the race against the turtle because the rabbit took a nap midway through the race. Why did the rabbit lose the race against the turtle? Yes, direct cause is the rabbit took nap. So that's the problem, but there's more fundamental problem. So what was the rabbit seeing during the race? Rabbit was paying attention to opponent, turtle, and circumstances. On the other hand, what was the turtle seeing during the race? Turtle was focusing on the goal. He was seeing the goal and purpose of the race. So rabbit lost the goal and purpose and stopped moving forward. That is why the rabbit lost the race. On the other hand, the turtle did not lose the goal and purpose. For turtle, the purpose of the race is not winning. The purpose of race for him is reach the goal. And he kept the purpose and kept moving forward. So that is why the turtle won the race. You know, first generation, they look like turtles from the secular viewpoint. We do not have much of the things that secular people regard as successful life. We don't have a nice car or big house, or we don't do the lifestyle like going cruise or going the trips. And also, we do struggle a lot to deal with our own fallen nature, relationship with spouses, family members, and community members. And maybe second generation see that. And they don't see attraction from first generation. But you know, we have the goal and purpose based on faith in God. We have many problems, we struggle a lot, but we have clear goal and purpose. So we will win the race in the end. And you need to remember, winning the race is not necessarily to reach the goal first, in first place. And I went to see my son's cross-country race. And of course, the spectators cheered to the first group of runners. But you know, they cheered more when the last runner reached the goal. You know, it was the 5K race. So the first group come to the goal like within 20 minutes. And last runner is like behind 15, 20 minutes. And nobody around the last runner. But last runner is keep going toward the goal. I think that last runner touched the heart of spectators. And also I felt the spectators toward the last runner is like God. So God is like the spectators waiting for the last runner to reach the goal. You know, the society introduces many values, goals, and purpose in the name of diversity. So each one of us is a unique being, so of course we can have our own unique value, unique goal. But there is a common goal, ultimate goal for everyone. It is where our life started, where we came from. That is God, God's love. So God is waiting for everyone to reach the common goal. You know, second generation, you guys are so blessed. You guys have a lot of talent and ability. And you can be a rabbit. You can be a rabbit in this society. But you know, in this society, people easily lose that ultimate goal and purpose. There's the classic Christmas story, the Christmas Carol. The main character, Scrooge, he's a prime example how he's miserable because he lost the purpose and goal. But in the end, he found the purpose and goal of his life, and he transformed. So conclusion is faith in God navigates us to reach the common goal. So I like, especially young people, second generation, to remember your ultimate goal, ultimate purpose of life. Then you be the good rabbit to guide the rabbit who lost their purpose and goal in this society. Let us pray to conclude my message. Dear Heavenly Parent, thank you for this time to gather here to worship Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent, we are living in secular world, fallen world, and the people in this secular world are looking for their purpose of life, their own goal. But Heavenly Parent, we need to remember our ultimate goal is to reach Heavenly Parent, find Heavenly Parent love. And we are so blessed. Through two parents, we learn the guidance to remind us what's most important in our life. What is our ultimate goal, and what's our ultimate purpose of life?
Yes,
and during the day, during the week, we easily forget. But Heavenly Parent, let us remind Heavenly Parents is the most important thing in our life.
yes,
And we need to bring Heavenly Parent in our life.
yes,
And we hope the second generation to find God in their life.
yes, Father.
And they are so much talented and so much to show this society. I hope they can be the good rabbit
Father.
to show their ability with your absolute value. Thank you, Heavenly Parent, your love and guidance. And I'd like to report everything in the name of Blessed Central Families gathered here at you.
Achieve.